We got some news to get into here, boys. Over the weekend, a few things happened. We'll talk a little bit about it. Also, reviewing some of the numbers in WoW right now. A little bit up, a little bit down. I don't know. What does it mean? If players just beat the game at this point? I mean, I feel like a lot of players are just maxed out on everything, and the numbers aren't quite what they seem. So let's just jump straight in here and talk about it a little bit. First off, a WoW Weekly recap. We have a few things happening here. More updates on 12.0.7. We already know we're getting the Omnium Folio, your latest edition of a power upgrade in WoW. What I will say about this, it's nice it doesn't take up another, slot. It's not some kind of ring or silly thing that we're going to equip for a single patch or whatever. This is something that's supposed to keep us upgraded on power for the rest of this expansion. It's going to act basically as a soft nerf on a lot of the content that currently exists. So we'll see what kind of stuff players are doing once this goes live. I think key pushing is going to get absolutely insane. We'll talk about some of the highest keys being pushed out there right now. This is going to take things to a whole nother level. We got also the June trading post. Yes, we are officially in the month of June, my birth month. That's right. And we got some cool stuff happening here. A bunch of Tauren-themed items, a bunch of Sun-themed stuff. We got this really cool-looking dust-painted Sunrock mount. This is going to be your end of trading post achievement for filling out the trading post bar. So this is a good one. Yeah, it's Tauren month for sure. A bunch of Anshe Sun God looking stuff. So this is really cool stuff. I like a lot of the looks of this. Really good looking armor, honestly. Good looking trading post. And then the Ambassadors Discord community. If you haven't joined it already, 40,000 people have. They did a little giveaway over the weekend, I guess, for that achievement. So if you were there, great. If you weren't, too bad. You missed out, bitch. Move it on. Blizzard just made an abundance run way less, more annoying. That's right, way less annoying. For those of you doing abundance runs still, chasing down some of those mounts and a transmog and other things that you can purchase with these items, you can now use 8 shards of Dune in a single run. That's right, up to 8 and anywhere in between that. So running those, you'll be able to do it a lot less often. Previously, you could only use 1 at a time, which meant you had to do this thing 8 times over. This is a nice little change that's coming, I believe, in, 12.0.7. So abundance runs getting more abundant, I guess. So pretty nice for you guys. For those of you looking forward to 12.0.7, it's just around the corner. The first release candidate build has been uploaded and is now live on the PTR, which means the update should hit retail in a couple of weeks. There's still debate out there as to whether this thing is going to be dropping on June 16th or June 30th, and that really started off the holiday calendar when previously the Turbulent Timeways event, which is a 12.0.7 event, was supposed to go live on June 16th, and then Blizzard pushed it back 2 weeks. So players right now are kind of in a heated debate over, well, hey, is it still going to be the 8-week patch cadence, which would put us at June 16th, or are we going to wait until June 30th? Or is this patch going to release 2 weeks early, and then we're going to get the Turbulent Timeways event starting 2 weeks after the patch releases? We'll have to wait and see. But right now, my bet's still on June 16th. I still think we're getting this patch on June 16th. Some people saying June 30th, but that's how things are lining up right now. At least for now, it's on the PTR, which means things are moving forward for sure. Now, looking right now at the crests and everything that's happening with this, it's going to be, right now with the crest uncap, we're looking at numbers. And players right now are playing the game at a decent clip, but less so than previous times when we've seen the crest cap get unleashed, right? Usually this happens every season. Blizzard will open up the crest cap, and then a bunch of players will rush in to kind of fill out stuff that they haven't been able to lately. Well, this time around was a little bit less. This season, it didn't really happen in terms of a giant spike in players. The overall drop-off this week was 8.37%, which is smaller than regular weeks, but still, there wasn't really a peak of players that joined this, I should say, crest race or crest gathering extravaganza right now. Now, what does that mean about the game personally? When you're looking at these numbers, it's still very healthy. Okay, Midnight Season 1 is still trending higher than any War Within season from the last expansion, even Season 1 of the War Within, which typically tends to be your highest season. And we're looking right here, the green line. Yeah, we see definitely Midnight Season 1 has remained above. Now, it's getting closer and closer to kind of hitting what the War Within Season 1 was in terms of numbers, but still looking really good and maintaining kind of a slightly higher tick right now. Now, and overall, looking at these numbers, yes, the season seems healthy. To me, the reason why people didn't peak off or just jump off right now and start running these things, I think a lot of people are just capped out. I think between all the upgrades and everything that's been made available and all the different ways you can get crests right now in Midnight, whether that be Delves, which was available in the War Within, but then you also have the prey events, the ritual sites, and all the other different ways now that we can gather crests, I think players have been hitting cap more often and just have been capping out on their gear much quicker, which means there's just a lot of players who don't really have anything to do right now. Now, in terms of Mythic, this is one thing that I think Blizzard needs to do, and I've said this thousands of times. Unlocking Mythic rating, I think, would allow a lot more people to join, would bring a lot more people into the game, because you'd have more people maybe doing or pushing Mythic Raid, trying to see if they can actually get that done. In terms of keys, people were doing high-level keys already, so Mythic gear might not be lacking, and that might not be the reason people would do Mythic Raid, but simply just for the push and the achievement and the challenge of it. So right now, keys continue to be where they are. Mythic Raid wouldn't change this because this is tracking key runs. But I just feel like people are really capped out. A lot of players have honestly beaten Midnight up to this point. That's what it seems like. Looking at the numbers overall, Pit of Sauron continues to be the most popular Mythic Plus run right now, and Myasar Caverns continues to be the least. There really hasn't been any change between these. Really, people just continuing to run these dungeons at a typical clip. Honestly, from Pit of Sauron down to Magisters, there really isn't much of a drop-off. Myasar has probably the biggest drop-off between them. But overall, it's been a pretty even keel season. I mean, people have been running all the dungeons for the most part and completing them at a pretty even clip. Split across the runs right now, we continue to see these keys pushed higher and higher as we see the achievements, 3,500 being out there, as well as the first ever, top 1% finishers, gladiator-esque achievement that'll be given at the end of this season. 3 plus 24 runs have now been timed. 6 have been attempted all in all. That is the highest level of key right now. And a third little hump, I should say, is forming right now at the plus 16. Again, to get that 3,500 achievement, that's what you're basically going to have to do, is 16s across the board. So that makes sense as we continue to see more and more players pushing forward. Over 90% of keys now are at a plus 10 or higher, which is pretty crazy. When you think about it, everybody in this game right now, it's like a plus 10 is like the typical walk-in at this point. Anybody who's doing less than a plus 10 is probably running an alt or something, or they're like Samiccus, barely run any shit. I mean, I jumped into plus 10s. You guys saw me the other day, just taking plus 10s like it was nothing. I mean, and it was nothing, honestly. We timed them all pretty damn easy. So, yeah, right now, plus 10 has seemed to become the entryway for a lot of Mythic Plus out there. Looking at the rest of these stats, I mean, not much to see here. As I said before, plus 24 seems to be right now the highest ceiling, but I'm imagining when that Omnium Folio opens up in 12.0.7, we're just going to see it, go even higher for sure. You also take back shots like nothing, Sam. Fuck you, Malden Brewski. How about that? Piece of shit with your funny-ass comment. You know what else is taking back shots? Illyria from a bunch of Druids. That's right. We got 30 Druids completing Illyria. The Voidspire raid over the weekend was completed by a 30 Druid raid. That's right, and it's not just any Druids. We're talking about Guardian Druids swiping their way to success. 30 Guardian Druids over the weekend, fully fleshed and finished out the Illyria fight, along with everything else in the raid. This was a full clear. Glorious. What can I say? Right now, Guardians are eating real well. The most impressive thing to me here is not that they survived this fight, it's they were basically able to complete the DPS race. So they completed it right here. You see the kill of Illyria. Pretty damn cool. And they did it. They did it, swiping their way to success. You can see literally, you think I'm joking when I say Guardian Druid's rotation's fucking hilarious. Look at this. We got a swipe right here, another swipe, something else, and another swipe, another swipe. I mean, I'm not joking when I say these Druids be swiping their way to success. So there you go, Guardian Druids. They're eating real well these days. Method, a bunch of Guardian Druid tanks completing that run over the weekend. So congratulations to them. And then finally, I think I need this. It's a knitted Invincible. That's right. If you've never seen these guys before, I think their website is called Knitted, and they introduced an Invincible over the weekend. This is a knitted little, basically, teddy bear. They have their knitted store over here where they have a bunch of WoW knitted items. Yeah, you name it, they probably knitted it. And over the weekend, they introduced the Invincible, which is, near and dear to my heart. Will I buy it? Maybe I'll buy it I'll say it's for my daughter. I'll tell my wife, hey, I bought this. She won't know what it is. I'll just tell her, look what I got for our little daughter. Look how cute that is. She'll be like, oh, that is cute. And then I keep it by myself and sleep with it every night. That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, Sam still does. I don't have Invincible. But I can now purchase the knitted version, at least. 100% drop rate if I decide to buy this. So I'll link this in the chat and down below for anyone who actually wants to go purchase this thing. And actually a good-looking mount for sure. And you can even purchase a little Death Knight Warlock, Murloc, to put on the top here. So that's pretty nice. Anyone who wants it, go get it. And for now, that is all in terms of news.